Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Druid Monk multi-class build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, you may not think that the Monk and the Druid have much synergy together because the Druid needs its wild shape and the Monk needs its key points, but this was a requested video and I found a way to make it pretty strong. So, we're going to start off with the Monk because the Monk just has a really good start. So, it gets our flurry of blows here. Now, what's nice about these two classes, they both share wisdom as a stat that they want to have high. So, we're going to take our wisdom up to 16, dexterity up to 16. Our strength can be somewhere around there. And we want to have our constitution at ideally 15 would be perfect because you don't want odd numbers often, but we can add in Tavern Brawler to take that up to 16. So we'll go with something like this. We'll go with 16 dexterity, 15 constitution, 16 wisdom. And yeah, this build is actually a lot stronger than I thought it would be because we're able to add in some nice synergies between these two classes. So with the Monk, we get our nice additional key points and on our movement. So movement speed increased by 3 meters when we're not wearing armor. We also get our bonus action, patient defense, step of the wind, dash, and disengage. But where this build starts to get crazy is once we get to level 5. So for our subclass, Way of the Open Hand just gives us an ability to be very strong with our topple, which can knock targets prone. We can stagger them and potentially push them back 5 meters. Way of the Open Hand is the strongest Monk subclass by far. Now, at level 4, we get our slow fall, get resistance to falling damage, we get a feat. Now, here's where we can add in the Tavern Brawler, and you can actually, what's great about this is in Act 1, go to Auntie Ethel, buy her 3 strength potions, level up, buy 3 more, go to Camp Long Rest, buy 3 more, buy all the strength potions. They're very easy to find, and it makes the damage of this build just astronomical. So we're going to take our constitution up to 16 there, and this gives us the ability to add our strength modifier twice to damage and attack rolls, which, as I said, if we have the strength potion, that gives us a plus 10 to damage and attack rolls, so we don't miss, like, ever. So, do it. It's really good. Otherwise, you'd probably want to put on you can get a club that gives you your strength to 19. Not as ideal, but it's still pretty good. And then at level 5, we get our extra attack, so we can make a free unarmed additional free attack after making an attack, so we could stun 2 targets with that, which is really nice. Stunning Strike is really great, the unarmed version of it. And yeah, this is where we can start to multi-class. So at level 6, actually I'd probably wait till level 6, because you get our manifestation of soul, body, and mind, which adds 4 to 7 necrotic, psychic, or radiant damage to our attacks. And we also get the wholeness of body, regaining half our key points and getting an extra bonus action, so that's actually really good. So here at level 7 is when we can multi-class. So, adding in the Druid, this gives us a few cantrips. So you can go with Shillelagh, which gives you, or Shillelagh, it's pronounced 2 different ways. And you can go with that to enhance your staff. If you want to use Coralon's Grace in Act 1, there's a great staff that'll give addition to our attack rolls with unarmed strikes. And then it also gives us our spellcasting modifier for the attack, so we can go with that. You can also go with Thorn Whip too, pulls a creature 3 meters closer to you, or produce flame. I like Thorn Whip just for pulling creatures towards us. And now for our spells. Healing Word's pretty decent as a bonus action. It can pick up down to allies. We can also go with Long Strider, increase our movement speed by 3, which is awesome because the Monk has great movement speed, but making it greater is better, obviously. Fog Cloud allows us to hide in the Fog Cloud. It can also set up like your rogues too. And Create Water is really great, or Thunder Wave, although we do have the Flurry of Blows topple for a pushback. Create or Destroy Water is a good choice too, so either one of those. Thunder Wave if you want to have a bit more options in combat for pushing people back. Now for our subclass, there's one that actually stands out above the others with the Circle of Spores. The reason being, we get our wild shapes, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to use these. What we're actually going to use is our symbiotic entity form. So this will give us 8 temporary health points, and it gives us 4 more for each druid level. And we do an additional 1 to 6 damage with our unarmed strikes. So that can be 12 extra damage on a flurry of blows. So that's actually pretty good. And we can also cast Halo of Spores as a reaction. So this doesn't even use an action. Just a nice 1d4 necrotic damage, and we also get the Bone Chill cantrip, so if there's a target that can heal, it stops them from healing. For our next level spell, we can go with the Thunder Wave there, as I previously mentioned, so Circle of Spores, really great. Now, there's 2 ways we can go about doing this. So, we can take the Druid level 6, we can take the Druid up to level 6, or we can keep it at level 3. So, at level 3, we get things like Hold Person, which is really nice for our class, because we can hold creatures still and then get critical hits off on them. Spike Growth is another really nice one, or Moonbeam if you have this paired with Sanctuary, it can be pretty great. But we're going to go with hold person there just because that benefits our class quite a bit with the extra attacks that we can deal to them. Now, I'm personally going to take this up to level 9 monk because I find that stronger, getting more key points. But we can continue with the druid to level 6 and go 6 and 6 split with them, because at level 6 we get the fungal zombies, which is really fun. But I think that this is good because we get evasion at level 7 of the monk, so you can dodge your way out of spells and take. If a spell would deal half damage on a successful dexterity saving throw, it deals no damage and only half if you fail, so full on taking less damage from spells, which is really nice. You'd want that, because spells can be pretty damaging. And if we can avoid them altogether, all that much better. Now, for our next level feat, you can go with something like, I think an ability score improvement's great. Putting our wisdom or our dexterity up. Both of these will give us increased armor class. This will increase our spell casting with the druid spells, whereas dexterity will increase the ability to get more initiative as well as increase our armor class. It's probably better to go with higher wisdom just because we're adding in the druid here. At level 9, we get advanced on our movement, so difficult terrain doesn't slow you down. And then we get our key resonation punch, bonus action punch, and blast. And this is great because it gives us an area of effect attack. Although you can add in another level of, you can go 8-4 to get an extra feat and then take our dexterity up or our wisdom up higher. You got two options. If you want difficult terrain to not slow you down, and the key resonation punches, which I'm a big fan of, you can go 9 or 4. So I guess there's 3 ways to do it. You can do 6-6, 4-8, or 3-9. I'm going to go 3-9 here just to show the higher level monk. Now, with this, it's kind of relying on some gear, but the nice thing is monk gear doesn't compete with any other classes. So the gloves of soul catching are huge. I also went with a strength potion to set strength to 28 for a plus 16 to our attack and damage rolls, which is massive. I also went with the evasive shoes, ring of protection, and the cloak of protection there to give us a 21 armor class, which gives plus 3 from dexterity, plus 4 from wisdom. And we can actually get that up to 22 if we use the vest of soul rejuvenation, which heals you when you avoid spells. It gives you a plus 2 to armor class. So we get our armor class up to 23 there, or 22 there, which is pretty good. And I'm just going to dye it green to fit the theming. I also like the Mask of Soul Perception, plus 2 at attack rolls, initiative rolls, and perception checks. So just flat out be more aware. I guess there's some other options you could go with. Like, I would say go with that. Also for shoes, we can go with the Boots of the Uninhibited Kashigo, which deals additional damage equal to our wisdom modifier with unarmed strikes, making that pretty strong if you want to go more offensive. Also, their Killer Sweetheart for increased damage or attack roll. Once per long rest can be a critical hit. I went with our Amulet of Greater Health to increase our health to 135, although the Amulet of Ball is good too, or even the Sentient Amulet if you have it for the key resonation. And also, I guess, the big one being the Gloves of Soul Catching, adding additional 1d10 force damage and healing us for 10 damage, or giving us advantage on attack rolls, and then plus 2 to Constitution. So that's good if you don't have that equipped. But typically, what we want to be doing in combat is we want to get into our symbiotic entity form. So that's that there, symbiotic entity. We get a little bit extra damage. So you can see there we're dealing upwards of 88 damage. And then we can also put on our passive. So you want to have your manifestation of body, mind, or soul active at all times. So I'll go with the manifestation of mind, because if you have the resonant stone, that damage gets doubled. So then when we go back to our attacks, we're dealing upwards of 104 damage with a bonus action, which is just crazy. Look at the damage there. Yeah, it gets pretty intense. If you also have Karlach, she can play this as well, and it's pretty good because she'll get additional fire damage with soul coins. But what we want to be doing is we want to be punching a lot, because the damage that we can do is crazy. Of course, we get a critical miss first attempt, and of course we get a critical miss second attempt. We're going to miss again, but I got a critical hit there, so pretty intense damage when you actually hit your targets. 12 damage. Now, they aren't getting the extra... They aren't getting hit with the... Oh, that's nice. We got an extra attack from a bonus action whenever we do our attacks there, so the unarmed strike. We're able to take out targets with 2 hits there, so 12 damage, like, a lot of damage there. We're able to basically 2-hit people almost there, so that is really nice. Now, the best way of going about this is to always be in your symbiotic entity form if at all possible, because it's just going to give us extra health and also big damage numbers. Like you can see there, we're hitting really hard. So we also got our wholeness of body, which will give us that extra bonus action. Typically I like the Monk 9 with Rogue Thief 3 to get an extra bonus action. We also have Wild Shape if you really need it, but you should save those for the Symbiotic Entity. And then we also have Halo of Spores, which doesn't use an action or bonus action. It uses a reaction to do attacks with. But key resonation punches can be used to hit in a huge area of effect, so that's another nice way of dealing damage. But with the wholeness of body, what we can do is we can hit with our flurry of blows there, and we're able to deal almost like a ton of damage there, and then he runs away because we were going to kick his butt. I almost hit him with that attack there, but the damage that we got is insane. So the bonus action flurry of blows topple is so powerful, so you can hit there. We did 100 damage with one attack. That's crazy. And then we get advantage on our next attack. So that is insane. 100 damage with a bonus action is nuts. And then we can also heal with the soul snare. We also got hold person. You can also even add in the Band of the Mystic Scoundrel if you want to cast that as a bonus action. So it gets pretty crazy if you don't want to use like the Ring of Protection or that one there. So yeah, this is a very powerful build in Baldur's Gate 3. Honestly, more powerful than I thought it was going to be. Adding in the Symbiotic Entity gives us that extra attack, and as you can see, upwards of 104 damage on a bonus action is just nuts. Also, that psychic damage gets increased as well, so we can potentially do like 32 damage of psychic with that, so it's even higher than that 104 that it shows. That's how we're able to hit him and deal 100 plus damage, and then also hit him for 100 plus damage. So yeah, Monk Druid, interesting subclass combination, but it works. So there it is. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.